Hello YouTube, it's your girl Denise and I'm back with Baddies East Reunion Part 1. And if anybody is going to do a reunion, this is exactly how you do a reunion. We had a perfect amount of fighting and a perfect amount of discourse as well. I think my biggest critique of this reunion is that nothing has been explained. And I'll explain that when we get there, but these girls are a little scary to tell us the actual truth, even though we kind of already know because we've been paying attention on social media. But anyways, we begin with a performance from Matt Cash. As you guys know, he is the one who made the intro song. And at this point, I'm just like, this man has to be somebody's brother, somebody's cousin, because I don't know why they would let him perform. Well, not like that. I don't know why they would give him a whole stage to himself and not let the girls walk into the song, because that's what I thought that they were going to do. I was just sitting there waiting for the girls to walk in one by one like they did during Baddies' ATL reunion. To his credit, he did give energy as much as he could. Apparently, he is a gay man, so we're gonna give him some grace because he did do better than a lot of straight rappers out there who just stand there and just mumble into the microphone. And it's still a better performance than Jocelyn's at her reunion for season 4. That's all I have to say about this man. We then cut to a montage of the girls arriving, and I just find it funny how Mariah Lynn is the only one that arrives with the sun still out. She was the only one to arrive on time, knowing damn well everybody else we run on CP time. We then cut to the scenes of the girls having their conversations in the trailers. This is where they say who they have beef with, who they want to talk to about something. Here we get ET. She's already on guard when somebody knocks on her door, and we find out it's Scotty. And then ET says, "You lucky it was you." So clearly here, I think Scarface was already looking for Natalie to fight her. I think Scarface tried to cover it up online and say that she only fought Natalie because she was feeling set up to get beaten up by Tesekhi during the reunion, but clearly here we do see that you were already looking for her to fight her. So I just wish that Scarface would be more honest. As far as Rolly, she does say that she wants to fight Biggie, but then the editor cuts it right there. So we don't get to hear her explanation. That could mean two things. Number one, the editor is tired of hearing Rolly make up excuses as to why she wants to fight Biggie, which granted we all are because we've heard it time and time again. Or the second reason is that there's stuff going on behind the scenes. These girls are probably getting paid to fight each other. They probably don't really have real beef. So the editor did cut that part out and left the part where Rolly said that she wanted to fight Camilla because Camilla has been popping off online. Between Rolly and Camilla, I don't really quite remember who started it first online, but they've just been attacking each other's bodies, which is a conversation I don't really care to have. But what I do find interesting is that Rolly is criticizing Camilla for saying that she doesn't trust any of the girls when it comes to arriving at the reunion and, you know, not being snuck by anybody. But then just a few seconds later, Rolly says the same thing. But you know that Rolly is our favorite villain and our favorite hypocrite and liar, all that good stuff. Up next is Natalie, Sukiana, and Sapphire in their trailer. And Natalie is telling Suki that Mariah told Natalie she didn't want to fight Suki, which I never believed that Mariah wanted to fight Suki. She never gave off that energy. But as far as Sukiana not liking Mariah back, I still don't really understand that. Like, I know why I don't like Mariah, but when it comes to Suki and Sapphire explaining why they don't like Mariah, they just say, oh, it's a bunch of little small things, nothing serious with Mariah. So then yeah, I'm still confused. What is the beef that you have with Mariah? Because you have been low-key picking on her a little bit on the show when you could just pay her no mind the same way that I do when her confessionals come up. Next, Biggie gives Smiley her best Will Smith impersonation at the Oscars. I mean, that slap, it didn't even look like Biggie slapped Smiley that hard, but I think it's because of the way that Smiley fell back. It just looked so exaggerated. This whole scene was just a telenovela, and we were all wondering, Biggie, why did you smack Smiley like that? So apparently that episode where Biggie snuck Scarface at the club, Biggie had asked Smiley to fight Rolly while she's fighting ET, because if you guys remember, it was Rolly and ET that were trying to evict Biggie and Smiley. So it's only right that the two girls being disrespected team up together and fight their enemies. So I get Biggie's point, but at the same time, you're choosing Smiley to fight with you out of all people. Like, we know how timid and She's just scary. Smiley's just scary. And Smiley's gonna say that she didn't know that Biggie was going to fight ET like that. I mean, we all saw how Biggie was dressed. She just had a white t-shirt and some jeans and some sneakers to the club. And we saw how you were dressed, Smiley, when you got word that Mariah Lynn's sister was gonna be at the club that you guys were going at. So this is why I don't understand why these girls play stupid. If somebody is not dressed accordingly to go to the club, they plan to fight somebody. Now, I still don't like the fact that Biggie smacked Smiley like that, because at the end of the day, when y'all were having that talk with Suki, it was very much you're on your own, defend yourself type of energy. So I don't know why Biggie was expecting Smiley to team up with her here, especially when you guys are not like friends like that. You're just co-workers, nothing more. And then my other issue here with Biggie, even though this was hilarious, I just don't understand why she slapped Smiley and then falls back and like runs away to security. Like, Biggie, where are you going? If you want to fight Smiley, then fight Smiley. Stop running away. And you can even see the security guard. He's cracking up himself, looking like it's his first day on the job. And then somehow Biggie was able to rip a whole chunk of Smiley's hair. Like, Smiley, what kind of wig was you wearing that it just ripped off like that? It didn't come off your head, but she ripped the whole chunk off. I wish this scene wasn't cut up as much as it was, because I feel like we could have gotten a lot better moments. However, this one scene did make it to TikTok. And I know that her voice, she's obviously very hoarse right now, but why did it sound like she was about to cry when she was on the phone with Maxine? We then cut to Smiley in her trailer. We didn't get to see how they transported her into her trailer, but I feel like it was a big mistake to trap her in her trailer. Y'all should have just left her outside, to be honest. Smiley is pissed. She ripped her wig off. She's over here wrestling with production. She punched the mirror and the TV. So that's how she ended up cutting her fingers. I think that the amount of blood for just 3 fingers is ridiculous, but at least Zeus Network had a medic on site this time. And so he comes and he's working on Smiley's hand. Tell me why she's gonna punch him twice and then try to bite him. I just don't understand, Smiley. You have more energy for people that did nothing to you as opposed to the people that have done stuff to you, but you just won't fight them. I don't understand. But props to that medic, because he didn't even flinch none of the times Smiley tried to attack him. He just kept on doing his work. I know I would have been like, I'm not helping her. We then cut back to Biggie's trailer. This time, the wonderful, the beautiful, the gorgeous tesekhi walks in. She looks so good. And Biggie gives tesekhi a shirt. Meanwhile, I'm just sitting here like, Biggie, when is the merch dropping? When can I get one? But then it's here where I just get annoyed, because why are we talking about Krishan? She's not here. She's not coming. Tesekhi don't want to hear about her. I don't want to hear about her. It's honestly none of y'all's business if you feel like she was ungrateful for not taking the 100K because she wanted 200K. This shouldn't even be a conversation. The editor could have cut this out. I think they're trying to shame Krishan, number one, for not showing up, but number two, for not taking the money that they already offered her. 100K is a lot for just one reunion appearance. And I don't like that, Biggie, here. You're too busy worried about somebody else when you need to worry about yourself and how this network has been disrespecting you, but you still defend them every chance that you get. To me, it doesn't make sense. Even though I love watching you on the show, it's just like you gotta have some self-respect, you know? So now we finally get started with the actual reunion itself. Janisha and Nene Leakes come out as the hosts. And let me tell you right now that there will be no Janisha slander on this channel. I will block you. Leave that lady alone. She's a very nice lady. I've been seeing y'all on Reddit going in on this lady. For her appearance, okay, her face does look a little tighter than usual, but still, that's a bad bitch, because she still looks better than me in any given day. Now, I still noticed that she took off her Zeus chain. Do y'all think she was worried that Anna or Scotty was going to try to snatch it? Let me stop being messy. Anyway, I don't really like Nene's dress. Honestly, I think, well, the two things that I take issue with is the furriness of the dress, and secondly, the color. I don't think the color really matches her skin tone. Everything else, by the way, like her hair, her makeup, her nails, everything else is gorgeous. But it's just this dress. She really is giving tennis ball. She really is giving kelp shake from SpongeBob. It's just giving couch cushion. And even though she is sitting on the couch, at least the couch cushions behind her are pink. So even then, still, she doesn't blend in. Now, as they start the reunion, they don't bring out all the girls, which in itself is smart, because you already know some of the girls are going to be problematic as soon as they walk in. Like, it's already on site for them. So I think holding back Rolly and Scarface was a good idea. But I don't like how they were showing the trailer without all the girls present there. Mind you, the girls are probably watching it from backstage, so they still know everything that's going on and everything that's being said. But it would have been nice to get everybody's reaction and thoughts at the same time while watching back the trailer. Another issue I take with this is that you can tell that this is Nini's first time watching the show while they're playing the trailer back, because she is just so surprised and worried. She just has a worried look on her face about everything. You can even see Janisha here trying to read Nini's expression when they get to the smiley situation in Jamaica. But the one thing that I do admire about Nini being the host is that she's not scared away. She does try to relate with the girls in some way. She does actually listen to the girls and what they're saying. She's not just trying to be funny, trying to bring the attention to herself, or trying to speak over the girls. And the girls seem to also have some type of respect for Nini as well. So this dynamic it's working, but Nini is not as knowledgeable as I would want her to be. Now, of course, Nini is going to be confused about the Scotty and Anna beef, as we are as an audience too, even though we know the reason. But let's say, like, if you're not on social media and keeping up with their drama as just a viewer of the show, you would be just as confused as Nini. Even Janisha here is trying to act confused. Which, if I'm being honest, I have such a hard time reading Janisha's body language and her face. Is Janisha some kind of actress or something? I know she was Miss, I think, was it Miss Universe or Miss Caribbean? She's a pageant girl, according to her Instagram. So, you know, there does have to be some kind of poker face when you're doing pageants and stuff. But she's not really showing here any kind of anger here. So that really could only mean two things. Either she really doesn't know, which I find it hard to believe because it's just been everywhere online. There's no way she's been avoiding those comments. Or the second reason is that she just really doesn't care. Now, we could get into how Janisha and Lemmy are not really married. Maybe they have some kind of relationship that's built on a business transaction, but there's not enough information about that to talk about it, in my opinion. But if I had to guess, I think maybe this whole time their relationship was just entirely transactional, and Janisha is just like the cover up for Lemmy, saying, okay, this is my girl, and presents, you know, Janisha as the woman that he is with as a front, as a cover up for what he's really doing in the background. But that's just my speculation, because I don't see why Janisha would be so unbothered if she really was with that man and if she really loved him. But that's not to say that Janisha isn't trying to be a little slick here, because she doesn't give up on the question. She keeps asking them, like, what's the beef between y'all two? You know, she's very insistent on them answering, despite how much Scotty is trying to play it off as Anna just being disrespectful, and Anna trying to play it off as if she doesn't know the reason herself either, that people are just picking on her. Now, there is a little soundbite of Anna asking Scotty if it's because of Lemmy. And my apologies, but there are no captions for the reunion on the computer. It is on phones, but I'm taking these screenshots from my computer. And of course, the editor tried to cut it and cover it up as much as possible here when it comes to Anna, you know, talking her shit. So there's that. But we do get Anna saying something about country bitches not getting how to get down, because Scotty, I think, is from South Carolina. Now, I'm from Miami, which is not really country, but even I was just like, y'all country girls is gonna let Anna talk about y'all like that? Like, even I got offended. She just be running her mouth to say anything. And this is one of the issues that I have with Anna, is she just be saying shit like that. And then it was the mentioning of her and Scotty being up for Baddies South to be replacements, but Natalie ended up picking Scotty instead. I don't know why she's trying to front like she wasn't of age while Baddies South was being filmed. During Baddies South, she was probably 19 or 20. Like, you was not gonna get that role, because you have to be at least 21 to be doing these shows. And you were still tagging along with them during Baddies South anyway. You just wasn't on camera. So we moving on to Tesekhi. Of course, they're asking her about Krishan. She lets us know that, at least their mother and Krishan has tried to reach out to Tesekhi to try to make the situation better. But Tesekhi doesn't want to forgive Krishan for basically embarrassing her on TV by getting her jumped. And I would feel the same way. I completely support Tesekhi here. It's obvious that she's still hurt about it. I don't think we're going to get a reunion between her and Krishan, because also Krishan is just not the type to apologize, which is what Tesekhi ultimately wants in order to move forward. She needs an apology. Skipping over to T versus Scotty. While they're arguing across the stage, we do hear Sky in the background, just very faintly. I couldn't really make out what she was saying, but I do find it interesting that Sky wasn't putting in her 2 cents before, so we do hear a little bit of that now. And then the camera pans over to T. She does get up like she's about to run up, but she ultimately doesn't. Who knows what Anna is doing here with her shoe. And then Biggie has been pretty much standing since the reunion started, but here she's getting her stretches in, getting ready here just in case anything is about to happen. And we don't really get how Biggie and Scotty started going back and forth. I guess the editor decided that it wasn't really important, but basically Scotty is telling Biggie, you do too much, and then Biggie is telling Scotty, you do too little. Next, Janisha announces that Scarface and Rolly are hitting the stage. And here you can see the girls from House B get up all at the same time. And you can even hear Sky here saying, no, you guys have to fight her one-on-one. We can see Tesekhi is tying up her hair, getting ready for Scarface. But when Scarface does come out, she actually kicks off her heels and runs towards Natalie, to everybody's surprise. And Scarface basically sends Natalie barrel rolling all the way to the side of the stage, which I don't like that she did that to Natalie, because Natalie's definitely one of those people that you can at least try to talk to her and bring up the issue first before you fight her. So you could have easily told Natalie that you felt like you were being set up by her and that she wasn't checking up on you or inviting you out like she was inviting the other girls, and you could have waited for her response. Now, if during her response she said something disrespectful to you, then you get up and you sneak her. Now, I don't think that Scarface knows it, but had she not ran up on Natalie, I feel like Tesekhi, because Tesekhi would have snuck Scarface. The first time that I watched the reunion, I was like, how did Tesekhi get over to Scarface and Natalie so fast? So when I watched it the second time and I slowed it down, I was like, oh, she was already on her way to beat Scarface's ass. Mariah and Scotty also get up to Natalie's defense. And do you guys notice how security is always very quick to snatch up Scotty? It's like, do they have special instruction to not let Scotty get hurt or in the way of a fight? Because that's what it seems like to me. Because then you look over at Mariah. Mariah doesn't even have not one security guard on her. They're just letting her take her free shots. And to be fair, nobody really needs to worry about Mariah or Scotty when it comes to fighting, but it's just the fact that nobody even bothered to grab Mariah. So meanwhile, that situation is happening. Biggie and Rolly start fighting. Okay, I do see people saying that they're not really fighting for real because they say I love you to each other before they start fighting. Now, do I think that they were fake fighting? I don't think that they were fake fighting. I think that they were just trying to be sarcastic with each other by saying I love you. Well, at least Biggie was, because Biggie did say it first. But what I do think is that they both got a check to fight each other, because still, really, at the end of the day, they don't really have real beef like that. They really can't come up with a good answer as to why they don't get along, besides who is the prettiest fat bitch on Zeus. There's nothing else there. Now, it sucks to see both of my girls, I love them both, to see them fight, but I do have to be honest here, Rolly is beating Biggie's ass because Biggie's too busy running away. Now here, Anna does try to jump in, and you can even hear her say, I'm jumping every bitch. So this had Rolly, a little worried that she was getting jumped. Here we get not only Biggie, but also Tesekhi and Sky even saying that nobody tried to jump Rolly, when we could clearly see Anna did try to jump in. And even Rolly is like, are you guys sure? Because I know she saw Pink Panther from the corner of her eye trying to swing at her. You can't miss Anna. Her shit is glittery and bright pink. Then Biggie's like, nobody jumped you, but let's go again. So we get a round 2 and people here are like, why is Rolly laughing? You see, they're not fighting for real. But it was, I heard it. It was because Sky made a joke. I think, I didn't hear exactly what she said, but it was something about hugging each other and da-da-da-da. And that's what Rolly was laughing at. I just love that this whole time Sky hasn't even moved from her seat. Like, she is not even worried that these 2 big girls are fighting right in front of her. She's just like, I know none of these bitches is going to touch me. So during round 2, Biggie is letting me down again. She just keeps looking down and like falling back. Even Tesekhi, you could hear her yelling. She's like, Biggie, what did I tell you? Keep your head on a swivel. I'm sorry. Tesekhi, you're going to have to keep working with Biggie a little bit more on those fighting lessons. She needs a couple more classes. Next, the camera finally pans back to Natalie. Finally, somebody stopped her from rolling all the way backstage. They finally get her up and she's talking to Scarface. Scarface is basically saying, you didn't check up on me, you didn't call me, you don't love me, just crying like a baby. I mean, what else do you expect from a girl who, when she first walked in and didn't really know people, she was just like, nobody hugged me. So this is just typical Scarface wanting, I guess, attention. And I don't really know what Scarface expected because we know Natalie is not really anybody's friend like that. Her best friend is allegedly Scotty, and you saw how she beat up Scotty right in front of you. I don't know what Scarface's point is. None of you girls are really friends outside of the show when you go home. Next, we have Anna versus Rolly. And is Anna on something? Like, why would she put this cape on while fighting Rolly? Now, Anna was too fast for Rolly. Rolly, I don't think she got a hit on Anna from what we can see. But I'm honestly, I'm very proud of Rolly. Rolly's really holding her own this reunion. And she's never been scared to fight. So we really have to give Rolly her props. And then Camilla comes in with a kick. She tries to kick Rolly. And again, you hear Sky in the background. She's just like, stop with the jumping. Y'all better give Rolly her one-on-one. And next episode, when we get to the fight between Rolly and Camilla, I think my prediction is that Rolly is going to beat Camilla because Rolly has been doing pretty good so far. Now, Biggie goes to Anna and she's just like, start running with me because Rolly can't run. And it's at this point where I'm just like, okay, Biggie, she's just trying to be funny. At this point, I don't think she's trying to fight for real. She doesn't really care to fight. Here, we can even see security laughing too. And while I'm glad that Biggie can run, she still doesn't have the best stamina. So I don't know why she's wasting all her little energy on running and trying to be funny. Biggie, please sit down. Please. Next, I think this is the moment that we've all been waiting for. We finally get Tesekhi and Scarface face each other. But before we get to the fight, you guys online were trying to come at Scarface because you had thought that she wasn't wearing any panties. She is in fact wearing panties. They're just nude colored panties. And I just want to speak to everybody who were swearing up and down, oh, I see coochie lips and her whole vagina is out. Just say that y'all want to suck on her coochie because what the hell was y'all talking about? Because on top of her wearing the nude panties, you can even see that the editor put a little blur around her crotch out of respect on top of that. So I really don't know what people were going on about. And even if her coochie lips was out, I feel like y'all looking too hard, y'all staring too hard at that for whatever reason. I get it. Like, I don't like the girl either, but at this point, y'all was just reaching for something, anything to get on her for. Now, I also have a bone to pick with people who swore that she had fighting skills because she is getting her ass whooped by Tesekhi here. If you slow down the fight, you can see Scarface didn't really land a single hit in the beginning, and she is swinging here kind of sloppy. Her arms almost kind of look like a windmill. Only the very last few punches she threw actually hit Tesekhi. But Tesekhi herself, she landed every single punch that she threw. Now, I know what Tesekhi does. She does wait for you to swing first so that she can dodge it. And then that's when she comes in with her punches. And when she punches, she goes straight for the face. So like when she hits you, you are kind of like a little stunned or just a little thrown off balance by the time that you're ready to throw your second punch. Now, both of these girls do swing with both hands, which I think is good, and closed fist, which is good because, you know, the other girls just be kind of swinging like this. Already, Scarface did way better than Marsh, so we're going to give her credit when credit is due. But Scarface did still lose this fight. Now, I know it doesn't help. Scarface just got her BBL before coming to the reunion and also her teeth done, which I don't think was the best idea for Scarface to do because, of course, that's going to impact your performance, but also for you to be exerting your body like this when you just had surgery it's just not a smart thing to do. Now, the reunion ends with this stack of bodies all piled up on Tesekhi because Tesekhi did try to swing E.T. on the floor. Good thing for E.T. she did not land on the floor. She stayed on her feet. Other than that, somehow Biggie fell, somehow Rolly fell. We have Camilla pushing Anna away. This is just a whole mess. Now, I am kind of curious as to see what Rolly here is doing. Is she defending her friend that just punched her other friend? Because we do see her in the previews sticking up for Natalie. And it is my understanding that Rolly and Scarface are no longer friends at this point in time. Or is Rolly here actually going to fight Scarface here? We're just just gonna have to see next episode. Now in the previews, we have more rounds of Tesekhi versus Scarface. I'm happy Scarface went to go get changed. I feel like she should have never came to the stage wearing that dress. I feel like what she was wearing in her trailer, she should have just came out in that and just saved the dress for the photos. But I still think that Scarface here is gonna lose again to Tesekhi. We get Camilla versus Rolly. I believe in Rolly here. I don't know. It's giving Rolly that is gonna win. I could be wrong, but I don't think Camilla is ready here, especially after, she's had her baby. Next, we also have Scotty versus T. I'm actually gonna have to give this one to Scotty because T, she did the same thing Biggie's doing. You just swing on a girl and then you start running away. I don't know. And lastly, we get Smiley versus Mariah. Here we have Natalie, Tesekhi, and even Sky for the first time get up and go to Mariah's rescue. I say Mariah because I don't know how Smiley is going to fight with one working arm. I mean, fighting Mariah is not going to be that hard for Smiley with just one arm, but still, it doesn't seem right. So this is the end of my review. Just a friendly reminder to subscribe if you still haven't subscribed yet to be notified when part 2 comes out. I will see you over there in that video. Until then, do take care of yourself. Bye.